Today we are talking about the Cards Lair Pro 1000 Plus from Gamegenic. Now, this looks very similar to Gamegenic's Dungeon 1100 Plus, but it is a little different. It's a little thinner this way, it's not as wide, but in almost every other respect, it's the same. It's the same length, it's the same height, it just isn't as wide this way. This is basically for your game night. This is supposed to be an all-in-one solution for playing Magic or any other card game and having a lot of different options. Unlike the Dungeon, which is just two solid rows with nothing else other than the fact that you can put cards or deck boxes in it, this is giving you a little bit more. And real quick, before we get started, this was sent to me for free by Gamegenic, but there was no payment. They don't sponsor. They're not sponsoring this video. None of that. No money changed hands. They just sent me this box for free, so just be aware of that as you watch this review. It has the same feature of being able to put the lid on the bottom, just like the Dungeon, as well as many other Gamegenic boxes. You have this short row that right now has a divider where you can put a notepad or maybe a cube packet or something like that in here, and then this long row on this side is just for cards. But much like the Academic, this divider can be pulled out, and forgive the fingerprints, it's gotten some use. Also, like the Academic, there is a nice little pocket on the side where you can put the divider so it's out of the way. There is one slight difference. This divider has a middle bit here. This is to keep it from flexing too much because it is pretty long, so it's there for structural support. It is detachable. If you do choose to put it on the side, you will have this little nub sticking out here. Now you can remove the nub. I am not aware of any hiding place for this nub, and I checked with the folks at Gamegenic. There isn't one, but you can put it up in this tray up at the top, or you can just leave it where it is and just put your deck boxes. It'll divide up your deck boxes slightly. It doesn't take up that much space. Or you could just lose it. That's another option. Don't do that. For those of you familiar with the Cards Lair 400 plus, 600 plus, and the Academic, this has drawers in this section here. Now the drawers on the 1000 plus are shorter than the ones on the Academic. Be aware of that. Not much shorter, but it is a difference. Though these can hold cards in sleeves just like the ones in the Academic and in the Cards Lair 400 plus. These drawers also have a These drawers also have a flap that you can use for tokens and other cards. If you don't want to use those and you just want to use it for dice, then you can slide it in with the flap towards the back, and now you have an easy way to pull it out. Again, just like the Academic. If you've seen my Academic review, this is very similar to you, and then the flap works like this. You pull it out and you're able to get it out. This is useful if you have a drawer full of tokens and it's hard to kind of get your finger in there, so this solves that. Along with that feature, this also includes the feature of the Academic and the Cards Lair that there are little cutouts on the edges, and this is so that way you can get your fingers in and get the cards out easily, and you're not fuddling with the cards. Fuddling? I'm making up words tonight. I've noticed this one even has one on this side as well, which I kind of like. I don't believe... Checking it in real time here, people. Oh! I stand corrected. The Academic does have a little nub there as well. Little nub here on the edge. So glad to see I'm proven wrong. So yeah, very, very similar to the Academic, very similar to the 400 plus and the 600 plus. The amount of cards it can hold, well, in this row, it's the same as the Dungeon. This one, well, cut it down by a third. That's basically what you're dealing with here. And I will have the numbers up on the screen as I talk. Now that I've told you about the box itself, what did I use it for? I used it for a couple of different things. I used it for a general game night where I was just bringing decks to a friend's house. I also have taken it and used it as a draft kit at my LGS. And then finally, I also did a con with this. In all three scenarios, it worked great. It especially shined for the game night and for the LGS draft kit slash decks situation. It worked better. If I had to pick one, I would say the game night it was more suited to, because I was going to a buddy's house. We were sitting at a table. We weren't moving around. I could set up my stuff where I needed it. So there was a side table that I was able to put this on, and simple solution for the game night. Downside to a draft night is just this is a big chonky guy. Even though it's a little thinner than a dungeon, it's still essentially the size of a dungeon, and it's just a big dude. So it's not perfect for an LGS trip, but it's pretty darn good. And along that line, this is why I would rank the convention option third. Really, where this box shines for me is its versatility, the easy access that it has to everything for my game night, for my draft kit. That's actually something I really like about the Academic, and I'm going to be making another video about the Academic coming up shortly because it will be coming to market. So I thought it would be a good idea to revisit the Academic, especially now that I have been using it pretty much since my last video, but I'm getting ahead of myself. That's another video. We're talking about this right now. Stay on track, Nate. My God. This 1000 plus is an excellent box. I highly recommend it if you are in the market for an all-in-one solution for your game night or for a draft kit. This is a great draft kit, and especially the fact that if you don't want to use this extra row, you can use it for a playmat. I was going to nitpick about this particular row here, the row that only can hold cards. That's actually wrong. It can hold more than cards. It can hold playmats, and you can fit more than one playmat in here. I was able to fit 3 at one point. It can fit the cube pockets as well, and Cubamajigs and burger tokens and so on and so forth. They fit in this box as well. So you can use this as a Jumpstart battle box, or you can use this for a cube. It can fit boulders, it can fit bastions, it can fit sidewinders barely. In fact, I wouldn't really recommend it. The lid bulges. I don't know, you can probably see that. The lid bulges, so I don't necessarily recommend it, but if you're in a pinch and you need to throw your Sidewinder in here, you can, but again, don't recommend. It also can fit satin towers. They have to be on their side, so they do take up a lot of room to fit in here, but you can fit them in here. Now, as I said at the beginning, yes, Gamegenic did send this to me for free, but I would buy one of these for myself. In fact, I'm starting to get into Cube. Shout out to the folks over at CubeCon. This, I think, will become a home for one of my future cubes, or it's going to be where I put my Lorcana cards. I haven't figured it out yet. I have a lot of different ideas, but I do really like this box. I think you might find this box useful. Now, as for another product you may be interested in, make sure that you click on that. Today we are talking about the Today we are talking about the Cards Lair Pro 1000 Plus from Gamegenic. Now, it was upside down.